Hello, wonderful interpreters. Thank you again for tuning in and Happy New Year. How refreshing is it to say goodbye to 2020? Although we have learned a lot from all the challenges sent our way last year, I am really happy that 2020 is really and finally behind us. I am also looking forward to conquer this year with a new set of challenges and an optimistic approach to everything. So cheers 2021, bring it on. Before I get into the update, I want to bring to your attention an urgent situation. Maria Mata, one of the interpreters in our community, needs our help now. She's battling stage 4 breast cancer that spread to her lungs already. And she's also battling COVID-19 at the same time. I can relate to her struggle, being a survivor myself. She's defeated cancer before, and I'm confident that she will do it again. So please, type this link into your web browser to make a donation. If you can't make a donation, please keep her in your prayers. With that said, I have a couple of crucial updates for you. Update number 1. It has to do with LNI's Implementation Report to the legislature. You know, we have shared with you the amendment that we were able to introduce on March 4th last year, requiring LNI to submit a report to the legislature and explaining the status of the implementation, if they had any success, and what was the plan. Remember, Senator Curtis King helped us in making LNI accountable. We finally have a copy of the report that LNI submitted, and we will disclose everything that they are admitting here, including their implementation plan and their projected date for it to happen. You will also see if they made any recommendations to the legislature at all and other shocking revelations of great concern to all of us. The report itself is 9 pages long, and I will release a video update later this week covering all of it, so that you don't have to rely on influenced rumors and have clarity about the state of things. Update number 2. PERC emailed us, Washington interpreters, about the state of the election process that we started, and this is the update that we're getting into today. Who's still in the race? Who's out? Let's get into it. On December 31st last year, PERC sent us a notice explaining the election status so far. For time purposes and to protect our strategy in this process, I won't get into all the technicalities and complex legal explanations, but will rather highlight key details. The notice starts by acknowledging that we, Washington interpreters, filed first to represent language access providers and the LNI system. The Department of Labor and Industries is considered to be our employer for election purposes. Now, this paragraph ends by saying that, quote, Washington interpreters provided a showing of interest in support of their petition, end quote. Now, this lets you know that we submitted signed cards to start the election process, as we have shown you time after time. Then, it says that PERC requested the employer, LNI, a list of the employees in the proposed bargaining unit, and an extension to provide the list was granted. Feel free to pause this video at any time to read everything if you'd like to do so. Then, on the third paragraph here, it says that WUFC filed a motion to intervene in the proceeding, meaning the election process, and that WUFC provided a showing of interest in support of their motion. You must know that WUFC Local 1671 successfully intervened and are now competing with us in the election process. This paragraph also says that Interpreters Rising, another labor organization, filed to intervene. However, it also says right here that, quote, Interpreters Rising did not submit a showing of interest in support of its petition, end quote. Per this notice, Interpreters Rising failed to support any showing of interest or cards to be able to intervene. So now, we only have WUFC in the process to compete with us. PERC is also requesting us, Washington interpreters, a few more cards to continue with the election process since we filed first for representation. Now, we have submitted hundreds of cards and keep on sending more consistently, so this is not going to be an issue. We have responded to this notice and pointed out discrepancies with the list that we found out when reviewing what PERC received from LNI and other potential issues. We knew that something like this could happen, and we prepared for this. You see, WFC is now desperate more than ever, and I want to let you know that they have been doing everything in their power to undermine this election process because they know they're not the choice for LNI interpreters, and we will prove it to you very soon. Finally, I have a message for all of you out there. Whether you are an independent interpreter, an agency owner, or somebody that supported any other organization, remember that while we may have some differences between us, we all have one thing in common. We don't want WFC Local 1671 to represent us. They are the union that introduced Senate Bill 6245 to restrict independent interpreters and get rid of language agencies. I do not have to remind you of how much they have taken from us already, starting with our mileage last year. Washington Interpreters invites all of you to join us so that we can defeat WFC and gain legal representation once and for all to protect our jobs and businesses. We can't allow WFC to win. We cannot let it happen. As far as the election process, we have submitted more cards than anybody and are still in the lead, and they know it. So they would benefit greatly if there's no election so that they can regroup later to try again. We cannot allow that to happen. So now it's the time to act. Washington Interpreters, like we've said before, will represent all stakeholders, interpreters and agencies alike. You know, we know that the LNI system is not perfect, but it works very well for everyone now as it is. And we will work together to make it happen and to make it even better once we win. So, we ask all of you that have not signed our card to do it now. This is it. Only 2 unions in this fight as of the making of this video. WFC and Washington Interpreters. These are the facts. We do not make things up. We're transparent and always show you the evidence. We remain truthful. So please, follow the instructions in the description below to send us your signed card. Drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't to our channel to receive more relevant information about our interpreting community. Stay tuned for the second video update on LNI's report later this week. See you in the next video, and as always, God bless.